disorder. And see, here's the problem. The problem is we don't understand that there is a difference between trauma and a mental disorder,
Mhm.
and ready for this, and a learning disability. 80% of all children who have a diagnosed learning disability in this country are young boys of color.
Color. Mhm.
So we have so what happens is if I'm a young boy color, I may show up I may show up like really angry because maybe no one knows that my father died last year, right? Because I
Mhm.
don't communicate and I don't talk, right? So maybe my anger is because my father died, which is a form of trauma. But because I can't stay in class long enough and I'm failing my classes, guess what? Now I've got an IEP that says I
Mhm.
can't learn. When my issue wasn't that I couldn't learn, my real issue was I had some trauma that I didn't know how to deal
Right.
with, and nobody
Right.
knew it was trauma. And so
Right.
we misconstrue trauma and learning disabilities and mental health to a
Mental
point
health.
where we just drop labels on people. We drop
Mhm.
labels on kids, particularly boys, and we just leave it there, not even knowing that a lot of times it's misdiagnoses that happen a
Mhm.
lot. And a
Mhm.
lot of times we don't even truly understand cognitively what is going on. And so on the flip side of that, if I am a kid who needs some mental health services and my school or my district is not willing to support that, then that also means that is it me that is totally responsible for my behavior, or is it the manifestation of my mental health that's
Mm.
responsible
Yes. Right.
for my
Right.
behavior,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so in the educational world, there's things called manifestation meetings where you have to decide, like, okay, was the kid responsible for this, or was it the kid's disorder, or was it the kid's like diagnosis? And when we don't have a strong grasp on that, then it spirals out of control. And you're wondering, like, wow, why would a kid do that at school, or why would a kid do this, or why would a kid do that? And so when we don't understand mental health and we don't understand brain science, then we make decisions based on what we see,
Mhm.
not based on what we understand. And so, listen, when you have those deep relationships with your kids, I know when my kids are on and I know when they're off. All right, it
Mm.
goes back to the example, right? When your brain is on, it's like this. When that amygdala is off, that amygdala's out, it's off, right?
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
when my kids are off like this. So I know, like some of my kids, I'm like, you know what? He needs 10 minutes before we have this conversation about why he did that. Because
Yep.
right
Yep.
now he won't be able to process and have a conversation because he's off. You know
Mhm.
what? Give you 10 minutes. I'm gonna check emails for 10 minutes, get that amygdala back on, maybe play some
Mhm.
music. I might even, it's a lot of ways you can kind of reset a kid. But nevertheless, when that happens, once that kid is back on, it becomes magical how far you can go with a child. But if I
Yeah.
don't understand mental health, if I don't understand brain science, then what I might do is I might end up kicking 20 kids out of school
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
all it was that they needed some more mental health care or support.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.